Today, I'm going to be sharing with you how my client went from looking like this to this. She's going to be joining me, and she just completed my 90-day transformation challenge. We're going to be going over her diet, what she ate, her training, all of the challenges that she faced, and how she made this transformation as a busy mom in perimenopause, training just 3 times a week and eating over 700 calories more a day. So today I am with Callie, who did my 90-day transformation challenge. And I want to kind of share with you guys today how this busy mom going into perimenopause literally transformed her body, eating more food, and had a great balance just training 3 days a week. So I want to start off. Can you tell me a little bit about your age, where you started, what your starting weight was, and like inches?
Yep. So my name is Callie. I started off this program right after my 40th birthday. I am a mom of 2 kids. Like Elizabeth said, I'm super busy. I am a business owner as well. And when I started, again, this was kind of a gift to myself for my 40th birthday. I was at about 115 pounds, but I was very, what I would call skinny fat. And had really been doing more cardio and feeling like I was failing for the most part in terms of I just couldn't get muscle. I was eating probably around 1,000 calories a day when I started, whereas after my three months on the program, I was down a ½ inch on my waist, which for me was pretty good. And that was an area that I held a lot of the fat that I do have. And so that was a win, definitely, for me.
Awesome. And what prompted you to, I guess, reach out to me? I know it was your birthday, but where were you at when you were like, okay, let's start this journey?
It just felt like I was trying so many different things for years, 12 years, 20 years, right? Trying to be a runner in my mind, trying to work out, trying to burn calories. The only way that I knew how, I thought, oh, you have to run to burn calories. And I thought, this isn't working. I had been on Instagram, and I had seen a lot of your videos that you had posted. And I thought, you know what? I like lifting weights better. And people that I'm seeing are getting results lifting weights. I need to figure out, I need to talk to someone who knows what they're doing, because I obviously don't. Running is not helping me. I'm not able to manage it with my life, and I'm not seeing any results. So it was one of those things where I felt like I feel like I'm a really hard worker, and as much as I worked on myself and my fitness, I wasn't able to do it. So I felt kind of like I was failing and just needed help. And then I found you.
I love it. And what specific goals, when you reached out to me, what goals did you have, and how did you plan on achieving them? Did you think you were going to be running still? What was going in the back of your mind?
So I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. My goals were to just get muscle. Like I said, I've always felt very skinny fat. I've always had some muscle. And when I was younger, I had a lot more. And as I've gotten older, and again, when I hit 40, I'm like, I really need to focus on building muscle. I'm a nurse by background, so I know that once as you age, muscle growth and just making sure just health in general is so important. And I didn't want to lose that because I'm busy or because I'm a mom. And so the goals that I really had were, I just want to see some sort of definition in my legs. Actually, my legs were one thing. I thought, I don't love my legs. I've never loved my legs. And that was a goal, just to get some sort of definition. And I had small goals, right? Just to see muscle, but my goals were exceeded. So it was good to have small goals, because I felt like I could meet them a little, not even quickly, but I feel like I met them, and it kept me motivated.
Yeah. And being a busy mom with everything you have going on, with traveling, with doing all the kids' activities, and even with diet and nutrition, what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced, those struggles that felt like would always keep you back? And then how did this program kind of help you overcome them? Because, I'm all about, guys, that when we have a struggle, whether it be sleep, stress, nutrition, travel, we always have the excuse of it's not the right time. But I believe in taking all of the struggles and setting small steps to overcome all of them, so that you guys could actually get sustainable results. So what were these challenges we faced?
Travel was my number one because I travel probably at least once a week at least. And I thought, I'm not going to be able to do this program or any program if I'm traveling all the time. It's not just the travel, it's the things that I do when I travel. We have team meetings, we have team dinners. It's, when you're living out of an airport or a hotel, there's not always good options there. And it was really awesome for me because the program that you set up for me, I was able to do it on the road. I'm able to do it without a gym membership. And when I'm home, right, it's the same thing. I can do it in my basement with free weights, and I've been able to do it successfully, I guess, in my opinion. And that was a huge barrier that it prevented me from reaching out to someone for a long time because I'm like, I travel too much. I can't make this happen. And then just eating habits when I do travel. And even after I started the program, one of my biggest obstacles was just hitting my protein. And it's interesting because now it's one of my easier things to hit, but it was a struggle for a while. And it was more of a struggle at the beginning because I was supplementing it a lot with protein powders, and I was getting really bloated. And you had given me some advice on the different types of protein powders that would work better for me and for my gut. And that was helpful, but also just putting in a lot of the effort of pre-planning some of the foods, eating lean proteins, and a lot of it. I was on a reverse diet, and so it was hard even at first to feel like I could eat that much food, but I have, and it's amazing how you can eat more and still get your goals. So I would say protein and travel and just diet habits at first were my two biggest things.
Absolutely. And for the people that think, because I know for me, when I was 180 pounds, like the nutrition aspect was so overwhelming. I thought, if I go to someone, they're going to have me on this strict meal plan and I can't gear off of it. And I'm going to have to make all of these recipes, or I'm just going to be stuck to this bodybuilder diet or be meal prepping in the kitchen. What did you end up doing? And how was my program, I guess, different with that? How did it help you with that?
Oh my gosh. So that was actually another reason why I think I've kept going. So I'm still working with Elizabeth. So I think we're at 9 months now, but I don't feel like I'm ever failing. So when I travel, I'm a big Starbucks person, and I've had to change it up a little bit, but I can still fit it in. It's the app that you guys, or that you use, and that I put my macros into. It was super helpful, and I never tracked macros before at all. But if you prepare for what you're going to do for the day and know that, okay, today I know I'm going to Starbucks, this is what I'm going to have. I'm going to pre-put it in early so I know what I have to do the rest of the day. That was really helpful for me. I'm not saying that I do it every day, but it is something that I felt like I still was able to get a treat for myself, and that I could plan around that for the day. So that was really helpful for me. And I also am one of those people that so my kids and I have a pizza party every Friday night. It's just what we do. And I didn't want that to end for them or for me. And so I do the same thing. I put that into my app for the macros, and it helps me guide, okay, this is what I have to do for the rest of the day before that, not just to meet my carbs, which are usually higher because of the pizza. So I have to lower them at the beginning of the day. I have to increase my protein early. And then obviously there's a lot more fat in pizza too. So it just really helps guide the rest of your day if you prepare for it. So I think it's awesome because you can still have those things. You just have to have the ability to prepare for what that looks like. So that's why I'm still on the program, honestly, because it's allowed me to still kind of keep some routines and understand where my macros are, because I never did that before. I never tracked macros before this program.
So do you feel like beforehand you almost thought you had to be so strict with all of the food and you had to cut everything out so it was overwhelming? And what you found is you could have balance and still build muscle and lose fat and have this transformation.
Yeah, I would, and that's why I was eating 1,000 calories a day. I'm like, I'm going to run, I'm going to eat 1,000 calories. I'm going to basically starve myself, thinking I was going to, lose weight or get more in shape. And it's exactly the opposite. So, or that I've learned at least. So it's been a really cool experience just to learn that, right? Because it was not something, it's interesting. I think there's a lot of false information out there, and everybody has the same, in my friend group, everybody has the same perspective. And so it's also been cool, like having my friends see me do this program and they're like, oh, I just thought you had to totally cut your calories down. The same thing, like run, don't eat very much. And it's just not that. So it's been a really cool experience.
I love it. And I know, so I work with a lot of women over 40, and you came to me like right there, hitting perimenopause. And I know a lot of women think we got to do HRT and, you can't transform your body. The doctor says basically you're doomed once you hit perimenopause. Could you kind of explain some of the challenges with weight loss over 40 and a slower metabolism and different things that we kind of did together to help you overcome this, to help you lose the weight while you're eating more food now?
So I think the thing for me was slowly ramping up my macros, because we were starting, again, I was not eating very many calories. So we started small, and I felt really bloated at first because I was eating too much. I was using the wrong protein powders. So that really helped me kind of ease into the calories. I think from my perspective, the macros and kind of building them up over time was the biggest, I think, I don't want to say challenge, but it was what you did that made it easier for me to buy into the process also. And I didn't gain any weight. So in a reverse diet, you're getting more calories, but I didn't gain any weight, and I was gaining muscle at the same time. So it was, so for me, that was something that you did that really helped me buy into the program and keep me motivated, because I thought, gosh, I'm going to start eating all these calories and I'm going to be, not get bulky, but I'm going to feel bloated and feel gross. And there are some days where, I may have made not as good of decisions, which caused that. But for the most part, I think your guidance on that was super helpful. I'm trying to think of I feel like, gosh, that was back in August. So I'm trying to think of other things that were impactful from that perspective.
Were you struggling with any, I guess, perimenopause symptoms before starting? Stubborn belly fat, anything going on?
Oh, I mean, stubborn belly fat. I don't know if it's being a mom or having kids or being part of perimenopause, but that's something that I definitely was experiencing. I mean, that's just where everything sticks, right? It was like my abdomen, my hips, my thighs. And at first I didn't, I am one of those people that I just expect things to happen so quickly. And it's interesting because when you don't take pictures of yourself, you can't see the results. And it's amazing how in this process, how every week I was taking pictures of everything, right? And you can measure it every single week and you see the results. And maybe you don't see them as fast as you want to, but over a period of time, you're like, oh my gosh, it's actually working. And it's super motivating. So yeah, the belly fat, the hips, the thighs, definitely something that has improved on this program for me.
Absolutely. And now, how many calories are you eating? So we started off at 1,000. Where are we now? And you're down in weight. We're down in inches, guys. This beauty she hasn't gone up at all. We've literally been shrinking, building muscle, and losing fat at the same time.
Yeah. And so I think 1,700 calories has been my non-cut macros. And I think we even got above that at one point in time and then went back down. But yeah, 1,700, which seems crazy that I was 700 calories less than that at one point. It's crazy.
And how many days right now are you training? Because I know people think, you know what, if I want to get and achieve a goal, I have to do 6 days a week, spend 2 hours in the gym. I used to do it. And I thought that too.
So when I first started, it was just 3 days. And that was perfect for me because I started getting used to, well, I traveled so much and I didn't really know what I was doing from a weightlifting perspective. So it allowed me to work out, kind of look through Instagram again, see some of the, see how people, understand what I'm doing wrong also with lifting, to ask you questions, feel like what questions I need to ask you. And then I got more confident in my ability to do some of the workouts well. And now I'm doing 4 to 5 days, but 4 days is usually what I average now.
Awesome. And do you feel like that's sustainable for you with like having time for your kids? Are you in the gym 2 hours a day? How fast are these sessions?
Yeah. So originally they were about an hour, 3 days a week, and now they're about 45 minutes 4 or 5 days a week. Again, the fifth day is more of if I'm just feeling like I need the fifth day, which now sometimes I do. And 45 minutes is totally doable. An hour sometimes for me was like, oh my gosh, it's an hour. And for some reason, like the 45 minutes that's my time. That's like my sweet spot. So I'm still interested in the workout, and it's, after 45 minutes, I feel like I've had a really good workout.
So I have an app for my clients, and I love to kind of have different resources. We have a community hub in there where you guys can ask me questions. We actually do monthly educational Zooms. We got our communication, all that. What do you feel gave you the most value out of the program? Like, what were those big helpful aspects? I know you mentioned the app.
The app for sure, and tracking macros, because I hadn't done it before. And then also in the app, the workouts are there for you to see, and then see videos of the form and everything like that, which I needed because I wasn't sure. I'm working out by myself, right? It's not like you're here with me in my house or in my hotel. So having the form and the videos was super, super helpful. And also having, I think, the ability to kind of reach out to you when I do have a question. And I can reach out to you separately. I can reach out to the group hub if it's more of like a group question that might help everybody. For example, I was wanting to increase my weights, and I was having a hard time lifting some of the heavier ones just because my hands are too small. And you had given me some, I don't even know what they're called anymore.
The Versa grips.
Yes, the Versa grips. I got the fake ones. So so I forget what they're called. But yes, the Versa grips. And I'm not kidding. It was like, oh, so I can lift the weights, just as my hands are too small. And it allowed me to lift heavier, which I needed to do. And I was not lifting heavier because I didn't have that resource. So that was just an example of something that was super helpful for me. And it's just being able to ask questions. And everybody has, to be honest, the same, what I considered stupid questions, but they're not stupid questions. Like, everybody has the same questions when they start. And it's kind of refreshing to see, even now, having been in the program, I see some of, the other people's questions, and it's like, oh, that's a great question. I've never asked this, over the past 6 months. So yeah, those would be things for me.
And apart from losing weight, what other kind of benefits had you experienced from doing my program that you didn't expect having? Because I know a lot of people are just like, hey, I want to lose weight, but I kind of do more of a holistic side of things.
Yep. I've gained a lot more confidence, and I didn't expect, I kind of expected that to be a side effect of getting muscle, but even before I started getting results, I was confident more in my ability to make better health decisions. I'm focusing more on sleep. I'm focusing more on balance, to where, like we were talking about earlier, I want to have my pizza parties with my kids. I don't want to sacrifice some of those things, and I don't need to, right? So I've learned that. I've also learned the value of patience because I am, being a really hard worker and expecting like immediate results has always been something that's kind of unmotivated me. So, and that's me. That's a me thing. And I've realized, like, I am doing all of these things. I'm doing a really good job. And that's worth something. And you stay with it, and then you see the results, and then you want to keep going and keep going and keep going. And so for me, and that also just adds and builds confidence as well. So it's just been that was a little bit unexpected to me, all of the mental changes that would happen throughout the process, and the physical, right? They happen at the same time, but it's really refreshing. It's the best decision that I've ever made, to be honest.
I love you. I'm so proud of you. And has it kind of any other way that it kind of has transformed your life in different ways, other than just getting you feeling your strongest, sexiest self, because we're stronger and sexier with age? How else has it impacted your life?
I think my expectations of myself were a little bit too extreme. When you feel stronger, you feel healthier, you feel like it's enough, right? I don't have to have this perfect body with no fat on it, because I also want my Starbucks. I also want my pizza parties. So it's that balance, but I've really lightened up on myself, I think. And I feel like, gosh, why can't you do this, Callie? Why can't you get into shape? Why can't you, lose your mom belly? Why can't you do this? Well, I have done some of those things. Am I perfect looking? No, and that's okay. I feel so good. And it's so much better and more worthwhile than the expectation of perfection. So that's been a huge one for me.
I love it. To be honest, I find that that's the best win, because I feel like
Yeah.
so many women, even I was there. I hated myself. I was so hard on myself. I thought I needed to be perfect every day. And we put ourselves through all these extremes and we're still not happy.
Yes.
And yeah. And then we don't want to go out. We don't want to go to restaurants. We make our life so restricted. And
Yeah.
just when a client, not even a client, my family, because you guys are family to me, are able to kind of fall back in love with ourselves, see that we don't have to have extremes. And then on top of that, you're eating food, you're building muscle, and you're seeing those results. And you don't care about the scale anymore, but you
Yeah.
see the results. That's the biggest win, because when the mindset changes, it's like your whole life changes. And you have
Yes.
more freedom.
Yeah. And then my kids are seeing me do this, and, they are like, oh, I want to get my steps in too, mom. And they're like, I want an Apple Watch. I want to watch to track my steps. And like, well,
Uh-oh.
but it's really cool, because before, my husband was always the one that was super in shape and a runner and all of these things. And now they're like, well, my mom does this. And it's like, I do. So it's really been cool to see them also kind of change their mindset and see me healthy and happy, and that it's important, right? That aspect of life is important. So
It really is. You're their superhero. You really are. Yeah,
yeah.
you are. And speaking of running, though, you're running too. You just did a couple half marathons.
I did, but so it's very interesting because I didn't train very well for any of them. I signed up for a series of 3. My third one is tomorrow, Saturday. Yeah. So my third one and final one is tomorrow. It's amazing how, I didn't want to run that much, to be honest. And weightlifting has prepared me for it. Just by lifting weights every week, multiple times a week, I feel like that's been my training, and it's been better than, running like an 8-mile every week or multiple days a week. So yeah, I'm glad that it's my last one. But I'm sure I'm going to sign up for another one, because it's that runner's high. It's that addiction after you do it. But after doing all of that, and even with the half marathons, to me, I just like the weightlifting more. I get more out of that. So this is a temporary, hopefully, running phase for me.
I love it. But you said the strength training. So you've only run, I think, 5 miles a week, and you're doing these half marathons, which are 13.1 miles. You're
Yeah.
finishing them, and we're injury free because of the strength training, how it's helped you in the nutrition, right?
Yep. Yeah. It's crazy. When 10 years ago, or maybe 15 years ago, I ran my first half, and I remember running like 5 times a week, various durations, and I actually hurt my ankle during it. So this time, yeah, I've been healthy, been finishing, had a PR on my last one, and so we'll see what this one is.
I love it.
Yeah.
And what advice would you give to someone that is in this place of their journey, and they tried every diet out there? They're doing these extremes with intermittent fasting. The doctor says you can't lose weight over 40. And they're like, my life is too busy. I don't know what to do. You were there. So what advice would you give them?
Oh my gosh, just invest in yourself. You spend more money trying to buy the food on these fad diets and trying to figure out what's best, for you to do. And I went through all of the same things. I did keto, I did carnivore, I did, just all these different things. And I felt like I was just wasting time. Now looking back at it, I should have reached out to you so much sooner and just started this program. Reach out to someone who knows what they're doing that can help you reach your goals. I don't even want to say faster, but healthier in the right way. And it's just, I would do this all over again. If I could go back, and, people ask me all the time, would you still do it? I'm like, well, I am still doing it. So yes, I wish I would have done it a lot sooner. I wish I would have done it in my 30s and started that process, and just the knowledge that I've gained throughout the process has been really invaluable. So
Well,
just, yeah.
I'm so honored to have you on the team. I see your little shoulders. You got to flex with me, babe. Look.
Oh my gosh.
Do it, girl. Do it. Do it. Look at those arms. I love it. Building muscle over 40. That's what we're talking about, guys.
That's right.
I love it. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to hop on with me today. And guys, you heard it yourself. You can transform your body over 40. You do not need to do it extremes when it comes down to it, but take that little investment on yourself and move forward, because when was the last time you did something for you? You deserve it. You're an amazing person. You work your ass off, excuse my language, and you deserve to wake up every day feeling your sexiest self. So thank you for joining me today.
Yes, thank you.